bonjour.
Piggy, it's Kermit.
Kermit, chérie, how are vous?
Terrible. The show's started. Where are you?
Oh, Kermit, I am so sorry. But right now, I'm in an important business meeting with, some of the movie executives. Showbiz.
Piggy, this is a picture phone. We can see you.
Ah!
Hello?
Fozzie, where are you?
Kermit! Oh, Kermit, I don't know where I am. I'm sorry, but I cannot make it to the show because I'm completely and totally and utterly lost.
Well, Fozzie, see that green door behind you?
Yes?
Go through it.
Ah, okay. I'm going through it.
The World of Jim Henson.
Coming right up on great performances.
Very nicely done.
Thank you.
Kermit.
What?
Don't look now.
Yeah.
Don't look. Don't look. But there is somebody underneath me.
What?
Don't look! Don't look! Oh, you know what? There's somebody underneath you, too.
What?
You know what? He's got a beard.
A lot of people worry if they see the performer in the same shot with a puppet character. It's been my experience that the character himself is really what's interesting. That if I'm sitting here working Kermit, which I've done on the Carson show and things like that, that people don't really pay attention to me. You know, I'm not a ventriloquist, and I don't try to hide the fact that my lips move. But the truth of the matter is that the frog is a great deal more interesting to look at, and who notices what the bearded man is doing? Magic of what television was is what first made me want to work in television, and puppetry was just a way of getting a job on a television station. And because I heard of a TV station that was looking for a puppeteer, I was in high school at the time, and television was in its early days, so I made a couple of puppets and auditioned and got a job, and that's kind of how it all started.
Sam and Friends. Brought to you by SK.
The platter they're playing on this TV show seems to have gotten stuck. Maybe if I just hit the television like this.
All black magic has me in a spell.
Oh, black magic that you weave so well.
It was a puppet show for grown-ups. It was on at 11:25 at night. There wasn't a kid watching it in those days. Sometimes it was completely zany sketch comedies. Other times it was sort of sophomoric record pantomimes. And it attracted this huge following in Washington, D.C., of all places, where everybody watched the news.
Good evening. I'm Ed Burrow, and the name of the show is Poison to Poison. Tonight, we're visiting the home of a very famous motion picture and television director.
In the 50s, there was a whole thing called sick humor that we certainly worked the edges of. You know, Jim was the gentlest man, but he loved the little wicked senses of humor.
Are you there, Alfred?
Good evening, Ed, and welcome to my humble little sanctuary.
Alfred, you have a very fascinating home.
Thank you, Ed.
And exquisitely furnished, may I add. For instance, that armchair you're sitting in is very striking.
And very expensive, too.
Why is it so expensive?
It's made out of real arms.
I think Jim's enthusiasm about things like that, trying new things, was very contagious all the time, and it really energized people. So that if he came into a control room or a studio and had ideas of wanting to do things, he had a very gentle, quiet way of going about it, but at the same time, he intrigued people. He'd say, can we do this? Could we do that? And everybody go, oh, let's do that. And it became, let's play with the media.
5.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking a course in visual thinking. It teaches you how to visualize your thoughts. Watch. Q. See that?
Man, you're just a beginner. I'm an old hand at this stuff. Watch.
Hey, a real watch.
With moving parts, no less.
Here was something very original. It was basically akin to someone putting their hand in a sock and putting a couple of eyes and making a mouth. And out of this simple form emerged these characters, of course, with the man behind them's a personality, a kind of sly humor, and something just connected or gelled or snapped that captured the imagination.
One of the things Jim did in that amazing career was to really just remake puppetry. To make the comparison, D.W. Griffith came along in the early part of the century, and he saw actors and dramatic storytelling, and he saw the whole film medium, and he put the two together and created something completely different. And nobody had ever made that same transition with puppet theater. They had always kept the puppet theater behind the little proscenium or behind the little ledge, and never made the logical assumption that you could do the same thing. Jim threw all that away immediately. And now suddenly you could get very, very close to a puppet, and that allowed Jim to start working with these very flexible faces. Watch Kermit the Frog in tight close-ups, and you'll see him run a gamut of emotions with little changes that are just tiny.